and welcome to Just Event Online News at 9. I am Anifat Ismail. First, the news headlines. Federal government to take over Ebonyi Medical Sciences Varsity, Buhari says. Court will decide Kano's fate, Buhari tells Igbo leaders. NRC fixes Abuja-Kaduna Railway, gives new condition for purchase of tickets. Desist from issuing threats, we supply food you eat, ACF says. No going back on June 3rd deadline, INEC reminds political parties. Federal government approves 2022 intervention funds for public varsities, others. Honorable Suleiman Olayinka obtains interest form, promise good representation. Zulum dissolves cabinet weeks to APC primary. Ballon d'Or 2022, Vinicius Jr. names his choice for award. Now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari has said that the King David University of Medical Sciences in Ebonyi State will be taken over by the federal government. Buhari said this on Thursday when he visited Ebonyi State for the inauguration of some projects by Governor David Umahi. While appreciating Governor for the reception, Buhari acknowledged the economic and infrastructural development he witnessed in the state. The president commended the state for emerging as the second best overall in fiscal performance in Nigeria and for scoring high in discipline, transparency and accountability in the use of public resources. President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday told the Southeast leaders that the court will determine the fate of pro-separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu. Buhari stated this during a meeting with leaders from the region at the new government house at Abakaliki. The president reacted to a demand by leaders of the region who pleaded to release Kanu and other Igbo youths in detention across the country. He said few persons from the region have brainwashed and incited many against the government. The president, however, expressed concerns over the worsening security situation in the region. The Nigerian Railway Corporation said it has fixed the damaged concrete sleepers and rails on the Abuja-Kaduna railways. It also affirmed that prospective passengers will present their national identification number as a precondition to purchase train tickets. The managing director of NRC, Engineer Fidet Okira, said this in a statement made available to journalists in Kaduna. NRC boss, however, explained that the Abuja-Kaduna train service will resume soon with additional security measures put in place and that the NIN requirements will help to improve passenger profiling and safety on board. The Arewa Consultative Forum has warned politicians and interest groups from the southern part of Nigeria to desist from issuing threats and ultimatum should be region filled to concede the 2023 presidency to the region. Secretary General of ACF Muritala Aliyu in a statement insisted that the North producing the next president of the country should not unsettle the South. He noted that the North does not seek to dominate any part of the country, stressing that it would not submit itself to be relegated to serfdom. ACF explained that those issuing ultimatums were to be pitied, knowing that they knew not what they were doing. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has restated June 3rd as the final date for political parties to conclude the conduct of their presidential conventions and other primaries. National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee of the Commission, Festus Okoye, disclosed this in a statement on Thursday. Okoye urged political parties to stick to the timeline in deference to certain provisions of the Electoral Act. INEC implored political parties to ensure their candidates emerge from validly conducted primaries. The federal government has approved the 2022 intervention funds for public higher institutions across the country. The Executive Secretary of Tertiary Education Trust Fund, Architect Sunday Ekono, made this known while receiving the Committee of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian Universities in his office. Ekono said the meeting of all beneficiary institutions will be held next week Monday to interact on some of the proposed reforms that have been approved for implementation. to assure the Vice Chancellors of the Fund's commitment to sustain the ongoing reforms in the sector, with increased emphasis on the content of its interventions, particularly in the areas of research, ICT, and in the areas of encouraging a reading culture in the society through publication of books. All Progressive Congress aspirants for Ajikobi Alanamo constituency at the Kwara State House of Assembly, Honorable Sulaiman Mohammed Jamiu Olanyinka, on Thursday, obtained his nomination and expression of interest form at the APC Party Secretariat, GRA, Ilorin. Stating the reasons behind his interest, he said that the constituency deserves better representation. He expressed readiness to represent the people of the constituency in good faith, saying it is part of his responsibilities. Speaking further, he vowed to represent them well and promised to ensure growth and development of the constituency if given the opportunity, as he solicited for people's support. Borno State Governor Professor Babangana Zulum has approved the dissolution of the State Executive Council for the first time since he assumed office in May 2019. The dissolution, which is coming weeks before primary elections of political parties, is aimed at allowing interested politicians to fly their parties. The dissolution, which is coming weeks before primary elections of political parties, is aimed at allowing interested politicians to fly their party's flag in the 2023 general elections. In a statement made available to journalists on Thursday by the governor's spokesperson, Issa Gusau, the dissolution letter was signed by the Permanent Secretary, Administration and General Services, Nanjuma Ali, on behalf of the SSG. The statement added that the dissolution is with immediate effect. Zulum expressed appreciation to members of the executive councils for their unquantifiable contributions while they held offices and wishes them the best of luck in future endeavors. The last on the news is sport. Real Madrid forward Vinicius Jr. has reviewed his strike partner Karim Benzema as his preferred choice to win the Ballon d'Or this year. Vinicius made the revelation on Twitter when he responded to Benzema's tweet, praising the fantastic support that the team received during their Champions League semi-final second leg 3-1 win against Manchester City on Wednesday. His tweet surely echoes the sentiment shared by many who believe the France international deserves to be named the best player in the world this year. We have come to the end of the news on Just Events Online TV. Here is the recap of the story. Federal government to take over Ebonyi Medical Science Varsity, Buhari says. Court will decide Kano's fate, Buhari tells Igbo leaders. NRC fixes Abuja-Kaduna Railway, gives new condition for purchase of tickets. Deceased from issuing threat, we supply food you eat, ACF says. No going back on June 3rd deadline, INEC reminds political parties. Federal government approves 2022 intervention funds for public varsities, others. Honorable Sulaiman Olanyinka obtains interest form, promise good representation. Zulum dissolves cabinet, weeks to APC primary. Ballon d'Or 2022, Vinicius Jr. names his choice for award. Thank you for watching Just Event Online News. The greatest discovery of any generation is that human being can alter his life by altering his attitude. For more news, visit www.justeventonline.com, and to read more updates, follow us on our social media platform with a tap at Just Event Online. You can also send us an email on justeventonline@gmail.com. I am Anifat Ismail. For more news, visit www.justeventonline.com, and to read more updates, follow us on our social media platform with a tap at Just Event Online. You can also send us an email on justeventonline@gmail.com. I am Anifat Ismail. Do have a lovely weekend.